UFC Fight Night, Ankalaev versus Johnny Walker 2 takes place this weekend. We're back, and we've got your entire card breakdown coming right up. Stick with us. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another edition of the 10-7 MMA. I'm DS, and he is Dino Bam Bam.
I'm Dino Bam Bam, and I'm excited to be back, bro.
2024.
Let's go, man.
I'm pumped. It's going to be a great year. It's going to be a great year of fights. It's going to be a great year all around. It's going to be a great year for 10-7.
It is.
Before we get into the card, obviously, we got Ankalaev, Johnny Walker 2 coming up. Before we get into all that, Dino Bam Bam, why don't you let them know where they can find us?
Well, you guys already found us, so that's fantastic. Here on YouTube, we're the 10-7 MMA. We're also that on Instagram. You can go ahead and follow us there. We'd really appreciate that. And while you're here on YouTube, do us a favor. Click the thumbs up. Ring the little bell. The bell ain't going nowhere. It's back for 2024. It is a permanent freaking fixture on this channel.
Absolutely.
So do that. That way you can be notified of all our videos that are going to drop. By the way, for 2024, we haven't really told them yet, Dino.
Yep.
We have a ton of content that we are planning to put out. So if you guys want to see that, do the bell ringing and all that stuff. Also, if you want to see us fail potentially, still follow and subscribe.
Possible.
Yeah, and then you'll see that we did that if you don't like us.
Oh, fucking these schmucks, typical.
Right.
That's what I expected. Look at them flame out like I expected them to.
Right.
You can have that satisfaction.
I'm saying. So I've got casuals coming out tomorrow. We're going to do that for every card, including fight nights. We've got DS's parlay coming out. What are you calling it?
It's a new segment that we'll be doing, a new video set. It's DS's safety parlay. So I'll go into it when I break down the first one. But essentially, we're not a betting podcast, whatever. That's kind of out the window for 2024. We are your home for UFC fights overall. So, but basically, I'll be putting together a list of what we consider safe parlays, or what I deem to be safe parlays. I'll do one for every card. Sometimes they might be 2-3 legs. Sometimes they might be 5-6 legs. I don't know how safe that really is, so follow at your own risk. But it is something that will be dropping every week, along with a bunch of other content as well.
So I'm going to say that safety parlay, I'm not touching it. Like, I'll bet along with you. But I'm not putting my Dino name stamp on that.
No.
So,
that's a purely DS. That's a strictly DS feature right there.
But I know you do be hitting.
I do be hitting sometimes.
You do be. So there's that. Also, Dino, one more thing.
To end the year, I had a 9-item parlay. So listen,
on 296, right?
296.
Yeah,
yep.
You went crazy on that one. Another thing I wanted to say, analytics wise, we are going to keep track of our picks this year.
Yes.
We're going to see what our percentages look like.
Yes.
So we can compare them to the rest of the industry. We can compare them to each other. Compare them to whatever. You guys want to use that data?
I think. Why don't we drop them in the description of the next video? Keep like a running tally of the next video. I will also be tracking the DS safety parlay too.
Absolutely. And
so if that bitch is at like 30%, don't hop in.
Right. Then maybe we just, that didn't work out. We'll try something else. Like, bro, that's what we do here. We turn, we pivot. Anyways, Magomed Ankalaev, Johnny Walker, a rematch is what we're getting.
Yeah, a rematch of just a tragic ending to that fight, and just that card in general was so weird. That doctor fucked things up a few times.
As they tend to do, man.
Whatever. This is a new year. It's a new card, and let's jump right into it. Unless you have something else you'd like to say.
Cool poster for this card for what that's worth. It's like blue and pink.
Yeah, I like it.
It's like Miami Vice.
I was gonna
vibes.
say it's giving me. Speaking of Miami, what's going on over there? They got
aliens,
fucking aliens, and
well, I think the UFC stacked that card so much that the aliens are like, shit, bro, we need to get tickets and like.
Dana's about to drop some insane shit.
Yeah.
Brock Lesnar like John Jones or some shit.
He has to because
Francis
fight got announced and now the aliens,
and supposedly they're 10 feet tall.
Right, I don't know, bro.
So anyway, that's neither here nor there. Let's get right into it, ladies and gentlemen. We've got 12 fights on the docket. First one of the night is at Flyweight. We've got Felipe Bunez taking on Joshua Van. Dino Bam Bam, thoughts on this one?
All right, Felipe Bunez, let's start there. He was originally supposed to fight Dennis Bondar. That's not happening. So in steps in Joshua Van. In steps in. Man, I am loose. I don't know what's going on.
What the fuck are you saying, man?
No idea,
Just
brother.
keep it going.
Josh Van is stepping in, all right, guys? Felipe Bunez, LFA champion, making his UFC debut. He is going to be cornered this weekend by our boy, friend of the channel, Captain Eric Albarracin.
Absolutely.
So he's out there in Vegas.
Shout out Captain Eric.
Shout out Captain Eric. So Felipe Bunes, a jiu-jitsu black
I did
belt.
wish him a Happy New Year. He did not text me back, by the way.
He texted me back.
That's cool.
That's not nice.
That's nice. That's good to know where I stand.
Okay, Captain Eric. So anyways, Felipe Bunes, jiu-jitsu black belt. Very, very good. Very dangerous on the ground, obviously. Super slick, quick submissions. Good takedowns, which is rare from a lot of these jiu-jitsu guys. He's not, like we've been having this whole conversation in the
That's
MMA
rare from
community.
those kind of people.
It's rare for those kind of people. But we've been having that conversation as of late, right?
And what I mean by that is Brazilians are typically not good at wrestling.
Right, and just high-level jiu-jitsu guys in general.
Yes.
So the conversation as of late, if you guys have been in the loop at all, with Aljamain Sterling having done that grappling thing, him and Mikey Musumeci have been kind of beefing online about butt scooting and is it effective?
I've seen that whole thing.
Whatever,
yeah.
but this guy's not a butt scooter for what that's worth.
Butt scooter.
Yeah, not at all. He throws up subs at like a super frantic pace when he's on the ground. On the feet, he is no schlub.
You look like you throw up a couple 2-3 subs.
Couple 2-3 subs here and there, He's got solid hands, decent power. I'm excited to see what he looks like in the UFC. He's taking on Josh Van. We've talked about Josh Van a couple times. I think he's our boy. Is that correct?
Yeah, he's fucking jacked, man. He's just a little fucking pit bull.
He's awesome, man. 2-0 in the UFC. Debuted against the opponent of Bunes, right? I think Bunes pulled out of a fight, and he ended up fighting Zalgas and got that win. He's a striker, good aggression, decent power. In the grappling, he is solid as well, but we don't really know yet fully about his grappling, being so damn young.
Right on.
He just fought in November, Dino. We're looking to see some improvements. I don't know how much improvements we can see.
He's got
2 months.
Yeah.
So, anyways, Josh is better on the feet and he's younger. Bunes is better on the ground. To me, this kind of feels like a trap with the odds being the way they are. I wouldn't be surprised.
That is so interesting that you say that.
Hear me out, though. If Bunes is able to get this fight to the ground, he's got a damn good shot at winning this. I just don't know, man. 34 is kind of old for flyweight.
It's
minus
not that old.
-220 for a 22-year-old guy is a little wild, but I am sticking with Josh Van. 29-28.
Does Josh Van have a cool hat like this, though?
He does not have a cool hat like that.
Well,
Not at all. Shout out to Felipe Bunes' Tapology photo. Y'all should check that out.
Pretty cool hat.
Yeah.
You broke Bunes down very well. You broke Josh Van down very well. Josh Van, to me, probably the most exciting flyweight prospect right now.
Yeah.
Super damn young. To me, it's almost like, is he fighting a little bit too soon? And maybe that sounds weird. Most of the time, I like to see a young fighter stay active, but I don't know, man. I have that exact thing written down here. Trap. Is it a trap fight? It kind of feels like that to me, right?
Yeah.
So, I don't know, man. Bunes is pretty tough. I think it's going to be a tough fight. I expect it to mostly stay on the feet. Bunes is pretty explosive, man. I like him at his best, and he's got pretty good power, too. I think he's at his best when he's throwing shots down the middle, straight 1-2s down the pipe, and I think that's when he's at his best. He does like to throw occasionally looping shots when he gets a little bit brawly. Mm-hmm. I don't think that's his best course of action here, because if you're going to stand there and throw power punches with somebody like Josh Van, short, stocky, just jacked powerhouse of a dude, I don't know if that's going to end well for him. If it goes to the ground, I mean, I could see Bunes getting a submission finish too.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. We've seen Josh Van rock. To me, this feels like a trap fight. I'm gonna go with Bunes, man. I'm taking the underdog, a somewhat sizable underdog, to start this card.
Yeah.
Is this gonna be in the safety parlay? I don't know about all that, but I mean, he's got fast kicks. He's got some power. I know he's 34 years old, but he doesn't look like an old 34 to me. He still passes the eye test. I see a pretty tough fight, but I'm going to take Bunes in this one, man. And I like Josh Van a lot. I do think that Josh Van's career trajectory isn't going to be too affected by this. Yeah. I don't think he gets sparked out like cold or anything like that. So, ultimately, I do think he's going to be towards the top of this division one day.
So I'm glad we basically agree, right? Yeah. We basically agree on what this fight is. It does feel like a trap. Bunes is super dangerous. Van is really damn young. Doesn't have the experience that Bunes has, so we see it the same way. I'm just going to stick with the youth. But, man, again, like I said, I wouldn't be surprised at all if Felipe Bunes wins. And if you are going to bet, you might as well bet on Bunes.
Yep. Yeah, again, I don't know that I would parlay either of those in something that, unless it's like a long shot kind of thing. But Yeah. Maybe it's probably 2.5. I imagine is the over/under that's set on it.
Yeah,
We'll worry about it later. Moving on to the second fight of the card, we've got Tom Nolan taking on Nicolas Mota, and First of all, Tom Nolan is big as shit.
Yeah.
For the weight class, he was at 155 lightweight. Yep, dude is 6'3", has a 76-inch reach. He's a madman. He comes out like a bat out of hell. He's tall as hell for the division. He comes over from Eternal, and then he was also on Dancing with the Stars. He had a great finish on the Contender Series. Really nice on the feet, good power. When he senses the finish, he goes for it. So that's something I really like about him. He is not afraid to just go absolutely fucking batshit and just stand there and trade shots. Obviously, that can work against him too, right? So for me, he looks like the kind of tall guy that is able to leverage his size and his height into good power as well. Yeah. So for me, Nicolas Mota, we know that we had that weird finish with Trey Ogden last time out. Obviously that wasn't fun to see. It is what it is. But, Trey Ogden kind of showed you how to work Nicolas Mota and how to win that fight. Mm-hmm. He really used his jab. Now you have another taller opponent, and even taller, 6'3", probably. I think he's tied with the
Tarantula.
Yeah, with the Tarantula for the tallest guy at the weight class at 6'3",
yeah.
And he looks to be every bit of 6'3". He's super young, 23 years old. I know Nick Mota is not a bad fighter at all, and I'm not saying that. For me, it's just not the best matchup for him. If Tom Nolan, as long as he fights smart, Nicolas Mota does have some power, so certainly he can get clipped too, and tall guys tend to leave their chin up at times too. Mm-hmm. So as long as he's careful with that, I do see him putting it on him, and man, I think he's going to be able to get the TKO finish, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
So I think this fight is definitely going to stay on the feet for the most part. Both these guys, I think, just can't not bang. They're going to bang. So I'm going to go with a fairly tough fight. They're both getting some shots in, but Tom Nolan ultimately getting the best of them and finding the TKO, let's say in the second round.
Yeah, so I pretty much agree. This is another one where I'm not in love with the odds here. Minus 290 is a bit wild for me.
That's crazy,
for a guy
bro.
Making his debut with very little MMA experience.
I was going to say,
against the guy
6-0.
Yeah, against the guy who's been in the UFC for a while and who's shown that he's pretty tough. I am going to stick with the favorite here, though. Again, the thought process is, if Trey Ogden was fucking him up, if Trey Ogden was beating you up on the feet, right?
Yep.
Then I know Tom Nolan's going to be able to do it.
Yeah, and I just think the height is going to be...
Right.
It's just going to be too much to get over. Also, we didn't really mention a 6-inch or 5.5 or 6-inch reach advantage.
Yeah, I will say, though, that Mota is really powerful and he's dangerous himself. And you never really know with a guy making his UFC debut. But, yeah, I got to stick with the newcomer here. I do think his striking is next level. It is really next level, and he fights a very fan-friendly style.
100%. My only concern is exactly that, though. If he stands there and kind of like how he did in some of his, lower promotion fights that I watched, if he just stands there and throws, you're gonna get caught. So just don't do that. If he keeps it moving, utilizes his jab, keeps the distance, and he's really good at it. So yeah, I think he's got this in the bag. I feel pretty confident about it too.
Yeah, I'm going, by the way, first round KO for me.
Okay, let's get it. But we agree on that one in any case. Moving on to the third fight of the night, we've got Weston Wilson, the karate-style kind of fighter at featherweight, taking on Gene Silva. What do you think about this one?
I thought you were going to say the karate hottie. I was like, the karate not-so-hottie, Weston Wilson, bro.
Oh, my God.
That's who we got here.
Yeah, why did I watch this guy before? I watched him somewhere before.
Because, he debuted last year.
I know,
but... towards the end of the year, and we had to watch film for him. He's Wonder Boy's friend.
I saw him somewhere on the regional scene. Yeah, maybe that's what it is.
He's like Troy McClure. You may remember him from Wonder Boy's friend.
Exactly.
From being Stephen Wonder Boy's friend. Anyways, he's sharp. He's hittable. He's a karate guy, as we said. Tall dude. He does an okay job with getting in and out of range. He got absolutely killed last time out against Joe Anderson Brito, which no shame in losing to Joe Anderson Brito. He's an absolute animal.
Yeah, it's aged nicely, but man.
Tough ask for a UFC debut, right?
No question.
On the ground, he does do a good job. He's not like strictly a karate guy. He does have jiu-jitsu skills. Being so long and wiry, he's able to scramble really well on the ground.
He's got a few submission finishes.
Exactly, and hunt for the subs with those long limbs. I was looking at his record. And he lost to a guy named Charles Cheeks III.
I saw that.
And I think that's the second time we've mentioned Charles Cheeks on this.
Wow.
Shout out Chuck Cheeks, you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Chucky Cheeks, baby. Anyways, and then we got Gene Silva, minus 800, Dino. biggest favorite on the card. Wow. Crazy.
That is pretty crazy.
Insane for a guy making his UFC debut.
Yeah.
He is super damn powerful, very powerful striker. Another guy who's unique in his striking ability. Changes his styles up. He's got a very fan-friendly style as well. Range management, phenomenal. He mixes up, goes to the body well, goes to the head well. The ground game is okay. He's got good takedown defense. Silva should win this fight. Minus 800 is bananas, but he absolutely should win this fight.
He will win this fight.
Silva's pretty good.
Yeah.
Weston Wilson is just not that good.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what it boils down to. I am going with Silva with the second round knockout. Mm-hmm. That's my pick, but minus 800 is not. Don't touch that.
Yeah. Silva certainly doesn't lack for confidence. He's very, he gets a little showboaty and, got the hands down and he's doing the little, song and dance of, taunting and all this shit.
Mm-hmm.
I don't necessarily love that, right? But I do think that he's got some skills. He's got pretty good power. I just, and for me, the biggest thing is basically kind of what you said. I just don't really see Weston Wilson as a true UFC talent. All respect to the man, for getting in the cage, for making it here. I'm not taking anything away from him. But, yeah, I mean, Silva does a good job mixing it up to the body, both with punches and kicks. Weston Wilson isn't really anything with his hands. He does a lot of, nice kicks and things like that. He's got some ground game, sure. I think he's going to have a hand speed disadvantage for sure. And I think that's going to be a problem for him. And I think, the confidence level, right? He's got this karate style. I don't know. I've seen him showboat a little bit too. I just don't see in any way how Jean Silva can lose this fight. The odds are way too crazy. I agree with you. But, yeah, I think he's going to get the knockout too, man. I'm going to go first round knockout.
Yeah. I mean, it sounds right.
Yeah. I mean, that's a high confidence pick, but I'm not really saying much with those odds. So, moving on to the next fight of the night, we've got one of the Basharat brothers at 135. This is his first fight at 135? No, second fight. Yeah, at 135. Mm-hmm. He's taking on Taylor Lapilus. They're kind of like babying this dude right now, a little bit.
Basharat?
Maybe not. No, they're not. They're really not. I'm looking at the record. I mistook him from somebody else. He beat Clayton Rodriguez very handily. Mm-hmm. I mean, the Damon Blackshear win has obviously aged really nicely at this point. Yeah, I mean, so, yeah, it's a pretty good fight. For me, it's going to be the same old song and dance.
Yeah.
Farid Basharat, we know what he wants to do. He's not a fun fighter. He's boring as shit, but it's very effective, and it wins fights. He's going to do exactly what he always does. He's going to end up taking him down. They put him against a striker. Now, Taylor Lapilus is somebody who has experience, right? He has a lot of fight experience himself, and, he's not awful on the ground.
MMA and kickboxing.
Mm-hmm. But he's a Frenchman.
Yeah.
Okay? Frenchmen are not good wrestlers. They're not, known for their ground game. Which Frenchman do you know that's known for his ground game? So, yeah, I mean, it sounds maybe stupid, but we've seen this guy before, right? Taylor Lapilus had a stint in the UFC 2015-16. Mm-hmm. He fell out of the UFC,
It was weird, though, because he was winning.
And
then I don't know if they got rid of him or he left.
Or he pulled out. I don't know what happened.
He came back and won.
Yeah.
So,
he's going to try to keep it standing. He fought a good wrestler last time, and the Irish dude, was it Logren?
Yeah.
This guy's not, and he was able to take him down, too. Pretty handily, a few times.
Yeah.
So, and I know he ended up winning that fight, and props to him for that. And the other guy was undefeated, too. But Farid Basharat is Farid Basharat. He's a Basharat brother, right? These guys are very good wrestlers.
Yeah.
He's going to get taken down, dude. To me, this is a high confidence pick. On the feet, Farid Basharat's is not like a schlub either. No. So I do think that Taylor Lapilus should have a little bit of an advantage, but I think the advantage is much smaller than maybe some people might think. So
on the feet,
yeah. On the ground, I mean, I think there's a decent advantage for Basharat here. I'm gonna go with a second round sub here. I do think he gets the finish. I expect him to get him down fairly easily. I expect him to get him down a couple different times, and in the second round, eventually find that submission finish.
Yeah, a lot of hype around Taylor Lapilus in this second UFC stint. I don't know if it's this new French revolution of MMA, but yeah, there's a ton of hype around him. I've been seeing a lot of people picking him by knockout, which maybe he is pretty dangerous. But I do want to say something about Farid Basharat. The Basharat brothers in general, these guys are they're really like, I've used this a couple times at the end of last year, explaining a couple fighters, but the Basharat brothers are really, really living that life right now, Dino.
Yeah.
They're really invested in MMA.
They moved to Vegas.
They're out there. They are, if you follow them on Instagram, you'll see daily, they are just training with killers, like world-class fighters, world-class jiu-jitsu guys.
No, they have serious
wrestlers.
Aspirations, and at least from what we see, and come on, they're not the type from that region, especially. They're not the type to sit here and like
bullshit that
and bullshit it. They're not out there getting messed up.
Right. So
this is what they live and breathe. I mean, yeah.
So it is what it is. Farid Basharat undefeated, man. I don't know how good Farid Basharat is. I don't know what his ceiling is, but for now he's been proven that, you know, he's beating the guys they're putting in front of him. He's doing a great job.
Yeah.
He's well-rounded. So we'll see. Lapilus, like you said, good kickboxer. You know, we'll see if the power's there. I think that Farid Basharat is going to play this smart. I think he's going to use his wrestling.
That's the thing. That's why not everybody loves him, is because it is boring. But
Yeah.
it's like Khabib, honestly.
Yeah.
He actually has a very similar style to Khabib.
Yeah, and it gets to a point where it's like, are you here to entertain the fans or are you here to win, right?
These guys are here to win.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So, look.
And they'll say shit like, guys, I want to get the finish and all this shit, but like...
It's like, it doesn't matter. The dub is the dub.
Guys are going to punch in him so hard.
Punching him. But yeah, anyways, I think he's going... Lapilus looked really, really, like, hesitant last time out.
Yeah, he
and
did.
that was a guy that's not near the level of grappler as Farid Basharat.
So that's what I'm saying, man.
Yeah.
So just with the threat of the grappling, he's already more apprehensive.
And
now
he's
you have
more
somebody
susceptible on the feet at that point, right?
100%. And I think Farid Basharat is better on the feet than that Irishman.
Yeah. So I'm going Farid Basharat. I'm going 30-27. I don't think he finds a finish, but
yeah,
we'll see, man.
I was teetering on that too, but I think he gets the sub.
And we'll see. A lot of people are picking Lapilus, so I'm interested in, maybe I'm missing something. And he's better than I think he is. So let's
what are the
out.
odds on that?
Great call. Let's see.
Minus 250. Yeah, this will be in the safety parlay for sure. So, moving on to the fifth fight of the night, we've got Marcus McGee at 8-1 taking on Gaston Bolaños at 135. What do you think about this one?
I love this fight. I think stylistically this is a banger. On paper, it's a banger.
It really is.
Marcus McGee.
You guys may not know, casuals. Smart.
Right, legit. Marcus McGee, shit ton of power, man. He's a huge knockout threat at all times. As far as the grappling is concerned, really good takedown defense. He does have good submission skills.
He's 33 at only 8-1.
Yeah, I mean, he's not used up.
It's interesting.
Yeah, it is very interesting. He's got great cardio, too. There's not much to knock him on. Like, the dude is a really good fighter. It's just like, why are you 8-1 at 33?
There's something, I don't know.
Yeah, he's not all that.
He's not very refined, that's for sure.
Yeah,
he's not the most polished technical guy. He does have a very unique style of movement, and he is a little unorthodox. He trains with Chiasson.
Yeah.
So, he's got that kind of unorthodox style, that movement. So I get it, but, yeah, I mean.
There's something about him that lets me know he is good, but then there's something about him that's like, man, he's not really that guy. That's how I feel personally. Yeah. But anyways, the dude is legit and scary. He does have one shot, nuclear power.
For sure.
Gaston Bolaños, man.
Poor JP Bays.
Yeah, poor JP Bays. R.I.P. him,
Fuck.
Anyways, Gaston Bolaños, Muay Thai guy, a Muay Thai world champion to be specific. On the ground, his grappling is really nothing. Yeah. There's definitely holes that can be exploited. That's a weird way to put it. Sometimes you got to exploit those holes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Shout out holes, but
Phillips is a good wrestler too.
Yeah.
And Bolaños did a pretty good job.
Because Gaston Bolaños on the feet, Dino, he is so damn technical. He is so good.
He's got a lot of power, dude. His shots have snap on them.
I know. He is legit, and as legit as it comes, and just that one aspect.
Yeah.
And
he is fairly one-dimensional.
He's dangerous. Marcus McGee should 100% take this fight to the ground.
No doubt.
If he wants to win it.
No
Marcus
doubt.
is the type to want to get scrappy, though.
Yes.
And that's kind of what's giving me some pause on this one. I don't think that's the best idea with Gaston Bolaños.
I agree.
If this fight stays on the feet, I would lean Bolaños. But I believe McGee's going to try to be smart, try to do the right things here, take this fight to the ground. I think it's going to get super damn scrappy. I think this is going to be a dogfight. I'm going McGee by decision.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, listen, man. I think you broke down the fight exactly. Marcus McGee should take this to the ground.
Yep.
For somebody that's 8-1 and at his age, he's very well-rounded. Again, nothing like super stands out. The power's pretty good, but nothing like crazy stands out. You know, for me, this fight is mostly going to take place on the feet. This is a tough one for me to call.
Yeah.
It's a tough one for me. I think the odds are kind of crazy last time I checked. Let me see what they are now. The odds are minus 280, plus 225 the other way for Bolaños.
Yeah, man. So, like, the odds are crazy on this card.
I don't know, man. Give me those odds all day. I'm going with Bolaños here. I think he finds the knockout. Quite frankly, we've seen McGee rocked a couple times. So, I don't know. Nothing really stands out to me. Here you have, every fight starts on the feet, right? You have somebody that is specialized on the feet, has just as much power, probably has the faster hand speed, and is definitely the more technical fighter. For me, give me Bolaños for the upset here, taking my second underdog of the night.
Yeah,
but it's a close one, man. It's really close. I think the odds should be, close to a pick 'em to me. I mean, I don't know.
That's what I'm saying, man. So for me, it's weird, right? Because a lot of times when I'm making these picks, I make my picks, and then when we check the odds, I'm like, damn, that's not at all what I thought the odds
would
would
look like. Do you like checking them before or after?
Mostly after.
Yeah.
Like, I would say like 90% of the time it's after.
Same.
But...
Because then sometimes I'm like...
It'll sway your opinion.
Yeah, I'm
sometimes.
like, oh, shit.
But, like, my thing is, like, man, I'm so close on it, and then I'm picking this guy, and then I look at the odds, and it's like, yeah, that guy's favorite to win, but it's by, like, a ridiculous margin.
Yeah.
I almost want to pick the upset.
Yeah. Especially if you were, like, 50-50.
Even if it's not, like, the guy I actually thought was going to win. There's a ton of that on this card for me. A ton of that.
Yeah, I agree.
Yep.
Moving on to the sixth fight of the night, we've got Semi the Jedi at 170 taking on Preston Parsons. Semi the Jedi is stepping in, by the way, on short notice in this fight. This is a really interesting fight. This is a very, very interesting fight. I think this could be a banger.
Yeah.
We know Matthew Semelsberger comes out hot as hell, just swinging.
You think he's hot?
I like his haircut. He's got a cool haircut.
Really good haircut.
Always got a cool haircut. He looks cool as shit, right? He's jacked. For me, he's like, here's a guy, right, who came out and got, 2 or 3 knockouts in less than like a minute in the UFC.
He's a dog, man.
And then all of a sudden, in the last few fights, just can't seem to find the finish. He had Uros Medic very hurt several times, literally flopping around in the first round. Could not get the finish. And we've kind of seen a pattern of that. Is this like the equivalent of the yips, where you just like, you can't find a finish now? I don't know what's going on with that, man. It's very weird. It's a guy who has a lot of power, drops all his opponents, can't seem to get the finish, makes a mistake, or just, tires out by the time that he tries to do something with it.
Yeah.
Loses a position, now is in a disadvantaged position, taking shots. His chin's getting worked, or he gets gassed out more. And then, like, the next round, then he starts. It's been a weird kind of career for Semelsberger. He's one of those guys that I still really, really like. I enjoy his style. He obviously always puts on a really good fight, really interesting fight. Preston Parsons is going to be the better grappler here. Yeah. He's going to be the better grappler. Semelsberger, we've seen him do okay on the ground, hold his own. I respect his stand-up much more than Preston Parsons, personally. Mm-hmm. But this is a tough fight for me to call, man. It's a grappler versus a striker. Parsons is down to bang a little bit, right? He's got 8 first-round sub-finishes. Every fight, again, starts on the feet, though. This is a make-or-break kind of fight for me for Semelsberger.
Yeah.
If he loses this fight, I think... Because I still have hope for him. I still, for me, his career at first was like, holy shit. Now it's kind of like stagnant a little bit, let's say. Mm-hmm. Coming off a loss now, too. This is a big, big fight for him. I am going to go with him to win, though. I do think that he has it in him. I think it's going to be a close fight. I expect Preston Parsons to win at least one round, mostly by wrestling and just doing his thing on the ground, working him on the ground, maybe trying to work for some submissions. I see a very, very close fight here. I'm going to go 29-28, a decision win for Semelsberger. Does not get the finish again, but at least does get the win here. And hopefully we start seeing him get back to his finishing ways.
Yeah, I love Matt Semelsberger. We're huge Semi the Jedi guys here.
Absolutely.
Definitely an R boy. He's hittable, man. And you're right. I don't know what it is with his finishing ability. Like, we know he has really high finishing ability, but then sometimes he just, like, it looks like he doesn't.
Yeah, lately it's like literally the last like 3 or 4 fights.
Yeah, and it's really weird when you look at the guys he's lost to. It's Chaos Williams, Alex Morono, Jeremiah Wells, and Uros Medic. Like, not bad guys to lose to. Like, pretty good comp. You know what I'm saying?
All good.
And then quality wins.
And it's not like he's getting knocked out, except for...
Right. Except for the Uros Medic fight.
Uros Medic, right.
Which was super weird.
And God, he was literally flopping around. So, I mean...
Yeah, who knows? To me, this is striker versus grappler. It's pretty damn simple. Let's not overcomplicate it. I love Semi the Jedi, but I just don't really trust him anymore.
I get it.
And I have to take the grappler in these kind of situations, right? It's like a guy I don't necessarily trust on either side.
Yep.
It's a striker versus a grappler. I feel like the grappler is probably the safer guy to go with, so that's what I'm going to do. I can see Semi dropping him early. I could see Semi the Jedi dropping Preston Parsons.
Do you think Preston Parsons is the kind of guy that can survive that, though?
Yeah, I think he does have dog in him. Like, we've seen him take ass whoopings.
Yeah.
Like, the guy, he's durable.
Yeah.
So, I think...
And, again, you can't understate this either. I think we sometimes take it for granted for how much it really means. Semi the Jedi is coming in on short notice.
Right, he's coming in on short notice. So, but yeah, I think Parsons probably gets dropped, gets hurt, something like that early on in this fight, survives. Semi the Jedi kind of goes after it, maybe starts losing that cardio a little bit, gets a little tired. I think Preston Parsons finds a sub, man. I think this is going to be a firefight until it ends, and I think
it's a tough one.
I think we get a finish.
This is the closest fight for me on the card, I think.
I'm going sub round 2 Parsons. I wonder what the odds are going to be on this fight.
They're minus 125 right now, and from what I see.
I'm saying for round odds.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Because I think this fight's going to
That's a great question. Yeah. You think it's 1.5? I think it's probably...
Should be.
Probably 1.5, but who knows?
Imagine if it's 2.5, though.
I mean, then I'm taking that.
Yeah.
So, this is a really, really close one. No doubt about that. So, moving on to the 7th fight of the night, we have got just a man with 40 fights of UFC experience under his belt. We've got Andrei Arlovski at heavyweight taking on Waldo Cortes-Acosta. Que lo que, brother?
Que lo que?
He's Dominican, right? I'm not just being a fucking piece of shit right now?
Yep.
Okay, cool. What do you think about this one?
All right, Andrei Arlovski, man. 44 years old, legend, former champion. Good striking, great boxing. Used to have really good power. Like, what is there to say about Andrei Arlovski?
There's nothing to say.
If you've watched MMA
even
at all,
casuals know who Andrei Arlovski
right,
is.
If you've watched any UFC or MMA in the last 48 years, you know all about Andrei Arlovski.
You also just flipping it on. If you ever flipped it on randomly,
he's probably there.
He could have been there. 40 fights. There's a high chance he was there.
Legit. In his prime, he absolutely murders Waldo Cortez-Acosta.
Oh my God, it's not close.
I always have to do these. And
it's
say
not
that.
close.
You have to say
close.
That. So Waldo Cortez-Acosta, que lo que, as you said, former baseball player.
Que lo que, brother.
Hey, former baseball player. He's athletic as hell for a big dude. Very high volume, okay power.
He throws punches like he's pitching.
Well, yeah, that's what it is.
I know.
I don't know how refined he is.
He deadass throws like he's throwing fastballs.
Right. So he throws wild. His power's decent. He can take a hit and he gets his legs chopped to shit.
Every time.
That's happened. I think I've seen it twice or 3 times.
I think that's his inexperience showing. Mm-hmm. You have to train specifically to do that. If you don't know how to check kicks,
you're not just gonna check kicks.
It's not something that you typically just pick up.
Yeah.
You have to take some leg kicks and train. You have to train for somebody who's gonna kick you in the legs.
Yeah, they don't be doing that in baseball. I played a little bit of baseball in my day. Never once were they like, hey, watch out in case this guy kicks you in the fucking leg.
Right.
Watch out for that.
Right.
Yeah, so they don't do that. But anyways, for me, this is simple. It's Waldo Cortez-Acosta. He's the pick. He should get a knockout. It seems like Andrei Arlovski's chin is finally starting to catch up with him at 78 years old.
Yeah.
I'm not the biggest fan of Waldo Cortez-Acosta. I am a huge Andrei Arlovski fan for what that's worth. But yeah, WCA is the pick here. Round 2 TKO.
Yeah. Yeah, he's very inexperienced. He's very raw. At times he's kind of low output. Kind of takes a second to get comfortable in there. And maybe, again, it's probably the inexperience. But he doesn't seem like he lacks in confidence. He's got good power, in my opinion. He should have better cardio, right? I mean, he should have the advantage in power and cardio, probably in speed. This is one of those where there's you got your Jim Millers, right? Where Jim Miller is, who we're going to talk about in a little bit, who he is actually a gatekeeper at welterweight, right? Mm-hmm. Where it's he is an actual legit guy. If you can beat Jim Miller, you're pretty good. You're pretty damn good, right? Andrei Arlovski is still that, but he's like literally like the entry door.
Yeah.
So like if you cannot beat Andrei Arlovski, you should not at 44 years old now in his current condition.
Yep.
By the way, 44 and 11 months.
Yeah.
Okay. So he literally
45-year-old Andrei.
He's going to be 45 years old, and if you cannot beat him, again, it's an indictment not just on you, but on the goddamn entire heavyweight division. Yes, he's a legend, but Andrei should not be here. There should be enough fighters where we don't have Andrei Arlovski just taking fights anymore, right? Anyway, he still does his thing. He still can, move a little bit. He's not fast, but he's still got that veteran savvy. He can time a good shot. He's got a little bit of power still, right? I mean, that's the last to go. We always say that. But yeah, it really should be pretty straightforward. He should get the knockout, right? The chin, like you said, is getting a little bit testy recently. Also, what the hell is Salsa Boy? That's your nickname is Salsa Boy? Weird, but all right.
Why not?
Also, minus 600, I don't like that. I don't like that at all. So, I don't think it's that crazy. It should be, but I really don't think it would be.
Yeah.
This is the exact kind of guy I could see Andrei Arlovski somehow pulling out another win on.
That'd be hilarious.
So, but I don't think WCA is anything moving forward, right? He's a big dude. He's got 78-inch reach, all that good stuff, but yeah, I don't think he's going to be something in the future necessarily here either.
Yeah, I mean, and if he wins this fight, I was just looking through some of the rankings here. I'd like to see him fight Shamil Gaziev. I think that would be that'd be interesting.
That would be. That's a fun fight right there.
Yeah.
What about, bro, where the hell is what's his name been?
Chilling.
No.
He's out there. Yeah.
What's his name, bro? The fat black dude that is short and does cartwheels and shit.
Oh, Huggy Bear.
Yes.
Chris Barnett.
Yeah, where the hell's he been at?
Chris Barnett?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where's he at? I would love
He's
to see.
gotta fight
I would love to see him fight Gaziev. All right. Anyway.
Hey, UFC 300. Hear me out.
Oh my God. Main event.
Chris Barnett.
Yeah.
Derek Lewis.
Oh my God. No, I would not want to see Chris Barnett just get absolutely slept, dude.
No, me either. I like him. Good guy.
Oh
Fun
my
guy.
God. Anyway, moving on to the 8th fight of the card, we have got Phil Hawes taking on Brunno Ferreira at 185. This is another banger. Somebody's getting knocked the fuck out in this one. I mean, that's pretty much for certain here. I'm going to go with Brunno. I'm going to say Bruno's going to get the first round knockout. Phil Hawes is pretty good. I don't know if you've been following. Apparently, he went to Thailand.
They got some chin surgery that they do over there.
That he started
chin implants.
Basically, he was partying a little bit too much apparently.
Okay.
But listen, you're not like a spring chicken, bro. What are you partying and you're 30-some years old? He's how old is he? 30, whatever 35. The hell he is. 35.
35 in 5 days.
Come on, bro.
Oh shit! Today's his birthday.
Oh damn. Happy birthday, Phil Hawes. For me, man, it's the chin, right? It's gonna come down to the chin. I know Brunno Ferreira just got knocked out too. But he also knocked out G-Rod. He's got a lot of power. He's an explosive-ass dude. He's really fun. I really hated seeing him lose last time, to be honest. It's a tough matchup. Ikram Aliskerov is going to be, towards the top of this division, right?
Yeah.
So it's tough to watch. I still think he's more explosive. Phil Hawes, I will say, did look pretty good in his last fight, man. I mean, until he didn't.
Until he got touched.
Until he got absolutely touched. Yeah, but Aliskerov's got a lot of power. Yeah, what can you do there? But yeah, I mean, he's been knocked out a bunch of times. And then who did Ferreira just lose to?
Let's see. Nursultan Ruzabayev.
Dude, where the hell's that guy been? That guy looked terrifying, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was bad too. But for me, it really comes down to the chin. Both these guys have KO power. Brunno Ferreira, I mean, I didn't think he had a bad chin up until, he got knocked out last time.
Yeah.
But that's a huge guy for the division too. Of course, big surprise. A guy with that kind of last name ending being a weight bully, who would have thought? Right. But yeah, Hawes been knocked out cold in 3 of his last 4 fights. Every time he gets knocked out, it's out cold. Yeah. For me, I just can't go with that. Actual skill-wise, he might be better, right? The wrestling, Phil Hawes' wrestling is definitely going to be better. Is it going to go there? I don't know. I see a pretty quick finish in this one. I'm going to be honest with you. So I see a first-round knockout for Brunno here.
Yeah, so same kind of concept. I think Phil Hawes is significantly better in the vast majority of MMA things compared to his opponent here, Brunno Ferreira.
Yeah.
But the issue is his chin is paper, dog. He's got a paper chin. And Brunno Ferreira is big as shit. He throws hard as hell. He's got legit power. the path here for Phil Hawes to win this fight is wrestling. Like, can he outbox him? Sure, he can outbox him. Can he knock out Bruno Ferreira? Absolutely. But the safest way to do it is to wrestle. And I just think if he's going with the wrestling game plan, I think he knows that. I think he's going to go with that. And over the course of 15 minutes, you're going to get touched.
Yeah.
And if you get touched on your face, you're
And
probably
he
going to
gasses
sleep.
out, too, by the way.
Yeah, you're probably going to sleep.
He gasses out, too, and then that chin is real suspect. When he's gassed out, you can get him with a jab. If you're a professional UFC middleweight.
Agreed. So I think Phil Hawes is getting knocked out in this one. I just think it'll come in the second. It's the only place we differ.
Respect.
Yeah.
Respect. Moving on to the next fight. It's the ninth fight of the night. It's Ricky Simón taking on Mario Bautista at 135. This is obviously a very, very fun bantamweight fight. What do you think about this one?
Yeah, Ricky Simón, Mario Bautista, man. Let's start with Ricky Simón, wrestler, super damn high pace, explosive as shit, high cardio, nonstop. He's kind of got like that Marab in him. He's kind of got like that. Who else? Who else is just like this high motor, nonstop, like. That's
Colby to some degree, but not quite the same way.
Not this last time, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, he is nonstop, fast-paced action. He got beat up last time, man, by Song Yadong.
Yeah,
he got beat up pretty
He held
damn
his own
bad.
for a couple rounds.
Yeah, but on the feet, he started getting touched up. Song was able to kind of prevent some of that wrestling, and man, Song Yadong's a killer.
That's that power difference, man. He might be pound for pound the strongest guy.
Yeah, and my thought process here is how much can we take away from Ricky Simón for losing to Song Yadong? I don't know that you can.
You can't, and then especially when you look back at the record, before that, right?
Yeah.
Beat Jack Shore, highly touted prospect. Mm-hmm. Beat Rafael Assunção. Sure, he was a little bit washed up, but fine. Beat Brian Kelleher. 3 out of the 4 of these last ones were finishes too, right? So, he's been in the UFC for a hot-ass minute. He has a win over Marab.
Yeah.
So...
And that was that weird, like, choke-out situation
Yeah, it
and whatever.
was.
But anyways, he had 5 wins in a row before the Song Yadong fight, right? And
he fought somebody named Paul Njoku. Is that... You think that's his brother?
like David Njoku's brother?
Yeah.
Shout out David Njoku, the chief, right?
Bro, he's a dog. He was a dog this year.
Yeah, absolutely. But anyways, Mario Bautista, another high, fast-paced kind of fighter, but he does it with his striking as opposed to his grappling. He's on a 5-fight win streak right now, so that's pretty damn impressive.
Also against pretty damn good competition.
Yeah, and his 2 losses.
Wins over Damon Blackshear. That has aged really nicely.
Yeah.
Guido Canetti, whatever. He was obviously older at that point. Benito Lopez, Brian Kelleher. So, they both just beat the shit out of Brian Kelleher. He does have a win over Miles Johns, too. These are both seasoned veterans.
Yeah. So and then his losses are pretty impressive. Corey Sandhagen and Trevin Jones, not bad guys to lose to, especially Corey Sandhagen.
No question.
Not bad at all.
Tippy
Song
top.
Yadong lost to Corey Sandhagen. My thought process here is simple, right? I just don't believe that Bautista has the grappling skills to deal with Ricky Simón. Ricky Simón is going to go for that wrestling. He's going to go for that grappling, and he's never going to stop doing that.
Yep.
And he is a fucking hurricane. He kind of fights like Raul Rosas, but like obviously way more refined.
More controlled, yeah.
Way more controlled and refined.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's an absolute beast. I think he's going to get takedowns early. I think he's going to get them often. 30-27 for me, for my boy Ricky Simón.
Exact same. Simón is just tough to beat, man. I just think he's a tier above. Mario Bautista is really, really good. I think he'll ultimately settle in like that 15, 16 kind of range, maybe even a little bit higher than that. Bautista's really, really good, but Ricky Simón is just better to me. I'm not convinced that Mario Bautista is much better on the feet, personally.
Yeah, no,
so,
me either.
For me, I think he could get the finish. These guys are, Ricky Simón is definitely a finisher. Again, for me, it's just he's a tier above in all levels except maybe submission offense.
Yeah.
Because Bautista does have some nice submission finishes as well for as good of a striker as he is. It's going to be a really fun fight. I see a somewhat close fight, but I think, pretty clear 30-27 decision as well.
Yeah, so we're on the same page there.
Absolutely. Completely on the same page there. Moving on to the 10th fight, and we have got another absolute veteran of the sport. We mentioned him earlier, Jim Miller, fighting again. The biggest thing in this, I think that everybody wants is just don't get hurt or something, right? It's like everybody wants him at UFC 300. That's pretty much already penciled in.
Why'd they book this though?
I don't know.
Like, okay,
I don't know.
Dino.
I think it was already booked, and I don't think they knew exactly when it was going to be when it was originally booked.
Like this fight.
Yeah, like I don't think they knew when UFC 300 was going to be.
Yeah, but like you have like I'm sure they had like a
they had
1 month,
an idea,
2 month
I'm sure,
time frame.
Yeah,
you know?
for 100%.
So it's like, okay, April, May.
Yeah.
And then they're like, fuck it, fight in January.
And he's like
dude,
40 years old. Like, can you just like...
Just hold on.
Just give him a second.
Yeah, like, it's not that deep. Like,
yeah. And like,
I can't imagine
what is
he's
this
that...
fight doing for either of them,
And
really?
I can't imagine that he's that thirsty for like the $80K that he gets paid to show. You know what I mean? Like
he's probably just down. Like,
yeah, but
is he stepping in on short notice?
This was booked. Dude.
No, this was just booked, right?
Yeah, like, and they've been saying for years like he's gonna be at 300. He's gonna fight at UFC 300. It's like I don't know why we're playing with fire here.
Yeah,
I would really.
And he's
really
been
hate
so durable too. Like, so it's just like, please don't.
Yep.
So, excuse me. Yeah, for me, listen, nobody's game that I can remember at this age, at this stage of the game, is this effective still, has aged this well, as well as Jim Miller's has, right? Gabriel Benitez, also not a spring chicken himself. It's not like he's got youth on his side. He's 35 years old. We've got only 5 years between them at that point. Jim Miller has literally he's aged like a fine wine. He seemed to have, like, the dad strength, the power is there, vicious knockouts. He's a goddamn finisher. I mean, Benitez has been, fairly active himself, too. That's fine. For me, I just think the power difference is going to be the biggest thing for me here. I don't expect Benitez to have some big advantage anywhere as far as the submission offense goes. If it gets to the ground, Jim Miller is going to be better on the ground there for sure. Mm-hmm. So even if Benitez is maybe the better wrestler, if he wants to get him down there, that's fine. You don't want to take Jim Miller down like that, right? So I think he's got more power on the feet. He's got the better submission offense. I think he gets to finish here, man. I'm going to go with a second round KO.
Yeah, I think Jim Miller needs to use the takedowns. I think that's the easiest way here. Easiest way to win this fight. But
even if it stays on the feet, I don't see Gabriel Benitez like sitting here peppering Jim Miller enough to like.
Yeah.
If you're in close enough to pepper Jim Miller, you're gonna get hit. Like he's gonna hit you back. He's not gonna not swing.
Like Dino, what if you've been in the UFC for as long as he has and won as much as he has, which no one has ever done that.
Right.
Then you're gonna be good everywhere. Like, I'm not saying Jim Miller is just this ground guy. Like, he can win a fight against most of these dudes in the UFC anywhere. Like, He could win a shootout. He could win, like, a technical boxing match. He could win a ground fight.
Yep.
We've
seen that all. Okay, he knocked out Eric Gonzalez, Nicolas Mota, and Jesse Butler in violent fashion.
Jesse Butler really bad.
That was
really bad.
That was really bad.
That was really fucking brutal.
Yeah. So, I mean,
I'm taking Jim Miller. I'm going decision here.
Yeah.
I think he just kind of wrestle fudges.
I could totally see that too.
And like, I hope he does, and I hope he
Jim
just stays
Miller's
healthy.
going to be looking to do damage.
Yeah, but I just hope he stays healthy.
That's the biggest thing.
That's the biggest thing. Win, loss, draw, no contest, eye poke.
Whatever
the fuck it is. Just
as
make
long
it
as
to
it's Benitez getting eye poked.
I just want to see him walk out at 300.
No doubt.
That's it.
And like healthy. I don't want him to be like fucked up and he's like, I got to do this. Like, and just
Jim Miller versus Tony at 300. They could both just fucking ride off into the sunset.
Dude.
You down?
I'm so down for that fight.
That's what we need,
I'm
right?
so down for that fight.
I'm saying.
Holy shit. I would love to see that fight. Have they ever fought before?
I don't think so.
I would love to see that fight.
That's what we need.
Whoa, I would love to see that fight. You just blew my mind with that. Anyways, moving on to the co-main event of the evening. We've got Matheus Nicolau taking on Manel Kape at Flyweight. This is, like I said, the co-main event. This is also the second time that these two gentlemen have met.
Yep.
The first time around was a really close fight. Nicolau pulling out the split decision win. Do you think that was deserved?
Yeah.
You could have gone either way. Yeah. I mean, he probably he ended up getting more of the striking in the third round too. The striking numbers beg to differ, but yeah, I mean, Manel Kape seemed to be gassing out a little bit at that point. Anyway, what do you think this fight looks like? What do you think is going to happen?
All right, so let's start with Matheus Nicolau. We know he's a striker, but his grappling is pretty damn good too. He's very well-rounded. He's long-bodied for this division. My thing is he fights very safe, and I've mentioned this to you before when we talked about him. He's definitely a decision fighter. Yes, there are some finishes. There's some nice finishes, but he seems to just stay safe and he likes to play that game. That's the way I see it anyways. Last time out, he got absolutely sparked by Raw Dog Brandon Royval.
So quick.
He would have got a title shot had he won that fight.
Yeah.
Because we saw Royval get the title shot. I don't think they would have not gave it to Nicolau.
No, I think they would have, yeah.
And that's how close, that's how important this fight is, basically, is what I'm trying to say.
And Manel Kape, like, I feel like he's like the biggest fan favorite in the division right now.
At this point, yeah, especially after the press conference.
After the press conference, which goes to show you, ladies and gentlemen, look how much just cutting a decent promo will take your career. Look how far it will take
And it's fucking shocking to me that, again, one of the talks in the MMA world this week has been about Sean O'Malley and his mic skills.
Yeah.
And it's like, dude, how are you so fucking dry, Sugar Sean?
He is, though. It's
like,
weird, man. It's really weird.
He's the next, like, biggest star of the UFC, but he has no type of, like, fucking sauce on the mic. And it's like...
weird.
And this isn't about, like, bashing Sugar Sean.
Especially, like, you have that kind of look.
Right, you have to
and your style is so fun.
Right.
You're knocking people out with straight hands, like with straight punches.
His fight style.
Walk-offs. Walk-off knockouts.
That's what you knock people out. You got this flamboyant-ass
you're a
fucking
champ
look.
now.
You're a world champion.
You have your own UFC. You have your own YouTube channel and podcast and shit.
You smoke weed all day. You're this fucking stoner. This like you're living this fucking lifestyle.
You're
and
in
then,
an open
you're
relationship.
Just like, at least my dad didn't fuck me, and it's like
cringe, bro.
And then he's
weird.
just looking down. Anyways, it's weird, but yes, Manel Kape with English being like his third language, absolutely fucking killing it. And he's a striker. He's explosive as hell. He's fast as shit. Southpaw, really nice looking fighter. He's another guy that's very fan friendly.
He's so fucking smooth, man. Like with his strikes, with his punches. When he gets into in the second round of their first fight, like he was literally just doing like sparring.
And I think that sometimes that was to his detriment, and he's 100%. Fixed that.
Because sometimes he'll just stand there and then get caught.
That's what I'm saying.
And he does get caught. Don't get it twisted.
Exactly.
He got caught versus Dos Santos in his last fight. Pretty badly a couple times.
I literally have it here. If he didn't play around so much, I think he could have already fought for a title or been a champion by now.
I agree, man. I think a lot of us... This is kind of like the post... Like, he's got the hype now because he finally opened his mouth a little bit. Yeah. But there was a hype train before.
There was a huge hype train
before. And it kind of died down a little bit. Well, and then he took a lot of time off, too.
So here's what happened, right? So he was a champion in Ryzen. I think him and Yuri were champions around, like, the same time in Ryzen. And I remember when Manel Kape came to the UFC, I was fucking super excited
I remember you were, yeah.
And I was super high on him. Then he ended up losing his first two fights. And it was like, I don't know. Then you look back on it.
This guy's not in the right class.
Then you look back on who he lost to.
Yeah.
And it's like, shit, you lost to Pantoja and you lost to Matheus Nicolau.
Yep.
That's okay.
That's all right.
That's
it's literally 2 top 5 guys in the division.
It's the champion and a top 5 guy. So it's not a big deal. But anyways, I think Kape's the better striker. I think his grappling has been getting a lot better since the last time.
Dude, look at his adjustment in the second round of that fight with his takedown defense.
Yeah, it was
holy shit,
unbelievable, and that was a long time ago.
That was a long time ago.
That was what 3 years ago, like 3.5 years ago,
like 3 years ago,
like 3 years ago. So, anyways, look, I think he has every opportunity to become a star in this in the UFC.
Yeah, with this fight, with a really good win, either a dominant decision or a
finish
or a fucking knockout, he has a chance to become a real big star.
Yeah, so look, his improvements have restored my confidence, and we haven't done our state of the division video yet, which we will be doing.
Yep.
So I'm gonna reserve fully what I want to say, but I'm just gonna say this: I do believe that Manel Kape will win this fight by TKO.
Mm-hmm.
Manel Kape will fight for a world title this year, or he will be booked to fight for a world title by the end of this year. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying whether I think he'll be champ or not. I'll save that for that video.
Yep.
But Manel Kape will fight for a world title at 125, is my prediction.
In 2024.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he's on a good pace for it, too, especially that he's fighting on the actual first card of the year.
Yep.
So he's got plenty of time to get another fight in and then fight for the title at the end of the year.
Yeah.
But... yeah, look, man. The last fight, it made me a little bit nervous, right? I don't know if you underestimated Dos Santos. Dos Santos looks goddamn good, too, by the way. These 125ers are unbelievable,
They're all
man.
good.
They're unbelievable. They're literally, they come in, Steve Erceg, they just come in, and they're automatically really good. By the way, Erceg...
you think if I cut to 125 right now, I could do it?
You'd be dead.
Yeah, I'd probably die.
I think, yeah. But Erceg is, by the way, like a Croatian or Serbian last name. I did not know that.
So. Sounds like a Mortal Kombat character.
It does, right?
Erceg.
But not Steve.
No, Erceg.
Steve.
Just Erceg.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Like Cyrax versus Erceg.
100%.
You down?
I'm down.
Who you picking?
Probably Cyrax still. Cyrax. Yeah, listen, he needs to not play around, like you said, man. And I think he's learned enough from their last fight. He's made enough improvements. I was so impressed, like I said, with his ability to recognize and scan and then adjust mid-fight. My only thing is, like, Matheus Nicolau is going to put on a crazy pace, and he has the cardio to do it.
Yeah.
Manel Kape looked to be slowing down even in the striking, and he was losing that battle a little bit. That's why he ended up losing that fight on the judges' scorecards in the third too. Has he improved his cardio at all, or has he improved his technique or the game plan, let's say, maybe is a better way to put it, where he's not going to exert as much energy doing stupid shit. So I do think he's going to get the TKO. I'm going to go with the second round TKO, catching him with a massive punch. He rocked him in the first fight. He was rocked a little bit too. Not as bad, though, but I do expect him to get the finish here. If it goes to the cards and it's close, I think he gets it this time anyway. I think it's what's better for the UFC.
Agreed. Just saw a funny name on there. I'm sorry.
What is it?
I'm not even going to try to read it, Doug.
Okay.
Well,
Respect. Moving on to the main event of the evening, we have got Magomed Ankalaev taking on Johnny Walker. It's the second time. This fight has obviously been rebooked. Originally, if you haven't seen it, it's fucking stupid. Basically, Johnny Walker was illegal knee by Ankalaev. The doctor came and took a look at Johnny Walker. He asked him if he knows where he's at. He said, I'm fighting. He's like, no, I'm fighting in the desert. So he's trying to be funny and stupid, whatever. The doctor took that seriously. After, by the way, roasting what's his name earlier and telling him that he didn't get hit in the balls.
Yeah, that was that doctor.
Who is it? God, his name's at the tip of my tongue.
That was the Abu Dhabi card.
Yeah.
I don't recall who it was.
Whatever. But God, it's at the tip of my tongue. But whatever. Very, very bizarre. Very bizarre ending. Up to that point, Victor Henry. Thank you. Up to that point, we watched, a decent amount of fight, right? Johnny Walker was landing some shots. Johnny Walker is big as hell, man. He's massive. I genuinely believe that if Johnny Walker, same kind of thing like Kape, but even worse, to the extent where he just fucking fucks around completely, right? Yeah. Like last time, what did he do? Ankalaev landed a shot to the body, and this guy literally was like, ugh, and then tried to do like the fake, I'm fake hurt, and then flying knee. And because he did that shit, he was taken down. Magomed Ankalaev got his hand behind his back. Now he was just holding him there, and that's how we got the illegal knee, because he was on one knee. Stupid move by Ankalaev, but he was holding him there for like a minute at that point. So Johnny Walker has a lot of leverage as a taller fighter, but if you're going to do stupid shit like that, you're going to get taken down by somebody as strong and as good of a wrestler as Ankalaev is. So for me, I want Johnny Walker to win. I want to see him win this. I had him winning this in our original breakdown,
right? We both picked him.
Oh, we did? Okay. Yeah. Last time out I said something inside me is telling me to take Johnny Walker. I don't see Ankalaev being able to hold him down. He's huge. He's tall. He has good leverage. He's got pretty good takedown defense. Mm-hmm. If Ankalaev decides to strike with Walker, I think it's going to end badly for him. And I think we saw a little bit of that.
Yeah.
So the odds are crazy. By the way, I think the odds are way, way more in favor of Ankalaev this time than they were the first time around.
I'm not sure what the odds were last time.
I'm going to check it real quick.
Yeah.
But minus 455, I mean, that's pretty crazy to me. I don't know. I mean, plus 350 for Johnny Walker. I wouldn't put this in a parlay piece. It's tough, right? Like, I want to say Johnny Walker, but you know him, right? You know Johnny Walker. I feel like eventually Ankalaev is going to get him to the ground. And we saw that last time. So it's really tough for me. It's really tough. I guess I'm going to go Ankalaev by sub. I don't want to.
Where do you think?
I'm going to say in like the second round.
Okay, so pretty early on.
I would say like the end of the second round.
Okay. What were the odds for the first one? Did you find them?
I'm about to look it up right now.
Okay, so let me know when you find them. But anyways, I'm not going to waste too much time here. We said we both picked Johnny Walker last time out. I felt like the stars were aligned that day. Like you said, it was just like a gut feeling. I just had like this hunch that Johnny Walker was going to do something big, catch Ankalaev perhaps.
Yeah.
That was honestly the feel I had. And I know we shouldn't pick based on feels. And that's why it was such a notable moment for us, because I remember me and you talking about it.
I was like, fuck it, Johnny Walker.
And then we were both just like, you were like, oh shit, like you picked Johnny Walker.
That's right, now I remember. Yep.
It was like a whole thing, you know what I mean? And
by the way, it was minus 400.
Yeah.
Plus 300. So the odds have gone even. They were already wide then. They've gone even further in Ankalaev's favor since.
Right. So, anyways, I just feel like this time out, Dino, there's more clarity in the division, right? And on top of having more clarity in the division, they felt each other out for however long it was, whether it was 2 minutes or whatever it was. Johnny Walker threw that big-ass explosive knee. Ankalaev got a feel for the range a little bit.
Yep.
I think now
Felt some of the power. He
knows the danger that's there. And I think we're going to see one of those boring Magomed Ankalaev performances.
I think so, too.
I think he's going to use his wrestling, and he's going to use it early and often, because Johnny Walker, for, as much shit as you want to talk about him, about his chin being weak and how he gets knocked out all funny and shit, the dude's got fucking unreal power.
Yeah.
Like, he's got legit power.
He's a massive
and that
dude.
Yeah, and that's not something Ankalaev's going to want to play with, and now that he knows that, I think he's just going to wrestle. Johnny Walker being a huge underdog here, I think Walker by knockout is a fun prop to play.
Yeah, I'll sprinkle on that.
Yeah, if you're a gambling man. But anyways, I'm going Ankalaev, but I am going decision 49-46. I think he just makes this one boring. And, that's that. But I also want to throw out there one more thing.
I'm going to say third round submission.
Okay.
I think he gets a beginning of the third.
There's a world out there, Dino.
Yeah.
There is a world out there, and I want you guys to feel this too, okay? I want y'all to feel this. There's a world out there, a chance, that if Johnny Walker wins this fight, Yuri beats Alexander Rakic, and Jamal Hill's not ready to go, and we get Johnny Walker and Alex Pereira for a world championship.
That would be insane.
It would be insane. I think it would be fucking hilarious. And could you imagine?
It's literally like the spectrum of Brazilians. Like, the most serious-ass guy, stoic as shit as you can possibly imagine. And then just literally a fucking clown.
Yeah. So, and then here's my thing. Could you fucking imagine that in 2024, like, where would we be if Johnny Walker beats Alex Pereira for the world title in the UFC?
It's not
far-fetched.
Like, if he gets there, it's not out of the realm of possibilities.
I'm saying. So there's that. And then I also wanted to say the meme ability, like, looking forward to the rest of this year, is it's there. Like, we have that moment. That would be unreal. And then we also have Paulo Costa with a chance at, like, he's fighting Bobby Knuckles soon. He might be one or two.
I need to go to that fight. Like,
dude, if Paulo Costa beats Whitaker and Sean Strickland wins, Paulo Costa, Sean Strickland is hilarious.
Oh, my God.
Is fucking hilarious.
Oh, my God.
Anyways, yeah, so...
Did you fart?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
But, yeah. So, anyways, guys, next week, UFC 297, huge pay-per-view. Sean Strickland versus Dricus du Plessis, Raquel Pennington, Myra Bueno Silva, Arnold Allen, Movsar Evloev.
That's a fun one.
Fun-ass fights in Canada. I'm happy to be back.
Same, man.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Big time. But that's pretty much it. That's all we've got for you today. It's going to be a fun card. It's going to be a fun year. My friend, take us out.
All right, guys. He's DS. I'm Dino Bam Bam. We are the 10-7 MMA. Thank you so much for watching. If you guys enjoyed, thumbs up. Just leave the thumbs up. Ring the little bell. Follow us on Instagram. Do all that shit. A lot of videos dropping this week, Dino.
Absolutely.
All right, so look out for his parlays. Look out for the MMA Casuals guide. We'll see you guys next time. Peace.